Hello everyone. In previous topic we have studied different types of preference shares or kinds of preference shares. In today's video we are going to study what is retained earnings. A business organization are subject to variations in earning. Sometimes a company earns higher profit. Sometimes it earns lower profit. It would be a wise decision to keep aside a part of earning during a period of high profit. A prudent company does not distribute the entire profit earned among shareholders. They keep a part of profit in the form of reserve fund. These reserves are the retained earnings of the company. The sum total of retained earnings get accumulated over the years. These accumulated profits are again reinvested in the business rather than distributing as dividend. The process of accumulating profit and their utilization in business is called retained earnings. In simple word, a part of net profit which is not distributed to shareholders as dividend is retained in the form of reserve fund. A company converts its reserve into bonus share capital and capitalize its profit. This capitalization of profit is known as plowing back of profit or self-financing. Mark this point as important. Bonus shares are issued free of cost to the existing equity shareholder. Bonus shares are issued only to the existing equity shareholder and this is issued out of the retained earnings. The management can convert retained earnings into permanent share capital by issuing bonus share. So if they want to plow back the profit, then in that case the management can do this process by issuing bonus share. It is an important source of raising long-term capital as we have already studied in second chapter, sources of capital. In that we have studied own capital. Under own capital we have studied shares and retained earning. So retained earning is one of the source of capital which can be raised by issuing bonus shares and it is a form of long-term capital. In simple, it is cheapest method of raising finance. It is used by established company which is already existing. It is an internal source of finance. Now what is retained earning? We have already studied. Now there are four factors or determinants of retained earning. Now first determinants of retained earning is total earnings of the company. Total earning means total profits of the company. If there is ample profit, a company can save and retain some part of profit. More earning, more they can save. Less earning, less they can save. Attitude of top management also determines the amount of retained earning. If top management decide to keep more profit as a retained earning, then in that case the retained earning will be more, and if top management decide less to save, in that case the total earnings of the company will be low. So it depends upon the profit of the company and also attitude of top management. Second determinants of retained earning is taxation policy. The taxation policy of government is also an important determinant or important factors of corporate saving. If the taxes levied are at high rates, the company can save much of the profit in the form of reserve, and if the tax levied at lower rate, the company can save much of the profit in the form of reserve. So it depends upon the tax also. If the tax is high, less can be saved, and if the tax is low, a company can save much more of the profit. Third point is dividend policy. It is a policy of board of directors in regards to distribution of profits. If a company decides to choose conservative dividend policy, then in conservative dividend policy, good accumulation of profit is needed. But this policy affects shareholders as they get dividend at a lower rate. So again, dividend policy plays a very important role in determining the retained profit or retained earning. If company use conservative dividend policy, in that case retained earning will be more, and if the company use some other dividend policy in which the shareholders are going to get more dividend, then in that case the retained earning will be low. So just now we have studied three factors or three determinants of retained earning. First determinant is total earnings of the company, means total profit of the company. If total profits are more, more can be saved. If profits are less, less can be saved as retained earning. It also depends on the attitude of top management. If the top management decide or determines to have more retained earning, then in that case the retained earning will be more, and if the attitude of top management decides to keep less retained earning, then in that case the retained earning will be low. Second point is taxation policy. If the taxation policy of a government is high, then in that case company cannot save much of the profit, and if the tax rate is low, in that case the company can save much of the profit in the form of reserve. Third is dividend policy. It also depends on the dividend policy of the company. If the company decide to have a conservative dividend policy, in that case there will be a good amount of retained earning, and if the company decides some other dividend policy, in that case the retained earning will be low. Last determinants of retained earnings are government control. The government is a regulatory body of economic system of the country. Its policies, rules and regulations ensures that the company work as per its regulation. A company has to formulate its dividend policy in accordance with the rules and regulations framed by the government. And if the government use some strict regulations on retained earning, then in that case your retained earning will be low. And if the government is using liberal policy, then in that case your retained earning will be more. So it also depends on the government control. So these are all four determinants of retained earning which is affecting retained earning. Now next topic is sources of borrowed capital. Now what are the different sources of borrowed capital? Only owned capital is not sufficient to carry on all the business activities of a joint stock company. A company needs to borrow some capital as a supplement to owned capital. Every trading company is entitled to borrow money. However, it is a normal practice to have an express provision in the Memorandum of Association enabling a company to borrow money. Memorandum authorizes company to exercise borrowing powers, whereas article provide as to how and by whom this power shall be exercised. The power to borrow money is normally exercised by board of directors of the company. A private company may exercise its borrowing powers immediately after incorporation, whereas public company cannot exercise its borrowing power until it secures certificate of commencement of business. The capital may be borrowed for short, medium or long-term requirement. it is better to raise borrowed capital at a later stage of company's business. When company want to expand or diversify its business, it require additional capital. This additional capital can be raised by issuing debenture, accepting deposit, issuing bonds, loans from commercial bank and financial institutions, etc. Interest is paid on borrowed capital. It is paid at fixed rate. Borrowed capital is repayable after a fixed period of time or a specific period of time. Rest we will continue in next lecture or next video. Thank you.